Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Timeless Sagas. I'm your historically accurate host, and today, we're about to embark on a journey that transformed the world in more ways than one. We're going to explore the invention and history of the train. So grab your tickets, find your seats, and let's steam ahead into the past. Our story begins in the early 19th century, a time when horse-drawn carriages were the primary mode of transportation. But, as you can imagine, horses can only go so fast, and there's a limit to how much they can pull. Humanity needed a more efficient way to get from point A to point B, and so the stage was set for a technological revolution. Enter George Stephenson, an English engineer, and a man with a vision. Stephenson, often referred to as the father of railways, believed that steam-powered locomotives were the answer. And so, in the early 1820s, he set out to build a steam-powered railroad that could carry both passengers and goods. Stephenson's ambitious project would eventually become the first-ever public railway, the Stockton and Darlington Railway, which opened in 1825. Now, let's pause for a moment in our story to appreciate the sheer ingenuity of steam-powered locomotives. These magnificent machines harness the power of steam to move massive amounts of weight at considerable speeds. The steam was produced by burning coal in a firebox, which then heated the water in the boiler, creating high-pressure steam. This steam was then directed at pistons, causing them to move back and forth, thus turning the wheels of the locomotive. It was a marvel of engineering for its time, and it marked the beginning of a new era in transportation. Back to our story, the success of the Stockton and Darlington Railway led to a frenzy of railway construction in the United Kingdom. By the 1830s and 40s, rail lines were being built all across the country, connecting cities and towns at a pace never seen before. The most famous of these early railways was the Liverpool and Manchester Railway, which opened in 1830. It was the first intercity railway and featured the now iconic locomotive the Rocket, designed by none other than George Stephenson himself. As railways spread across the UK, they began to have a profound impact on society. For one, they made travel faster and more accessible than ever before. People could now journey from London to Edinburgh in less than 12 hours, a trip that would have taken days by horse-drawn carriage. This newfound mobility allowed people to seek opportunities in distant cities, and it also encouraged the growth of tourism. But the trains didn't just change how people traveled, they also had a massive impact on the economy. By enabling the rapid transportation of goods, railways revolutionized industry and commerce. Coal, the lifeblood of the Industrial Revolution, could now be quickly and efficiently transported from mines to factories. The transportation of perishable goods, such as milk and fresh produce, became possible, which in turn led to the rise of the modern supermarket. Of course, the United Kingdom wasn't the only country to catch the railway fever. Across the Atlantic, the United States was undergoing its own transportation revolution. In the 1830s, the U.S. saw its first railway boom, with lines being built from the East Coast to the Midwest. One of the most famous early American railroads was the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad, which connected the port of Baltimore with the Ohio River. This line not only facilitated trade between the eastern seaboard and the western territories but also played a crucial role in the development of the American steel industry. As with the UK, the rise of railroads in the US transformed society in countless ways. The speed and efficiency of trains allowed for the rapid settlement of the American West, and they played a vital role in the growth of cities like Chicago and San Francisco. Moreover, trains helped to bind the sprawling nation together, fostering a sense of national unity in a country that was still relatively young. Now, it's important to remember that while trains had many positive effects, they also had their darker side. The construction of railroads often led to the displacement of indigenous peoples, and the rapid expansion of the rail network contributed to the near extinction of the American bison. Additionally, working on the railroads could be incredibly dangerous, with many laborers losing their lives in accidents or due to poor working conditions. But let's not dwell on the negatives. Instead, let's fast forward to the latter half of the 19th century, when a new type of train was about to make its debut. That's right, folks, I'm talking about the electric train. In 1879, the world's first electric railway was unveiled in Berlin, Germany, by the inventor and industrialist Werner von Siemens. Using electric motors powered by overhead wires, these trains offered a cleaner and more efficient alternative to their steam-powered counterparts. Over the following decades, electric trains would become increasingly popular, especially in urban areas where pollution from steam locomotives was a concern. And so, as the 19th century drew to a close, the age of steam was gradually giving way to the age of electricity. But that's not to say that steam trains disappeared entirely. Far from it. In fact, steam locomotives continued to be used well into the 20th century, especially in countries with abundant coal reserves, such as the United States and the Soviet Union. However, by the mid-20th century, diesel and electric trains had largely replaced steam locomotives across the globe. In the years that followed, trains would continue to evolve and improve. High-speed rail networks, such as Japan's Shinkansen and France's TGV, would push the limits of train technology, reaching speeds of up to 200 miles per hour. Meanwhile, innovations in track design and construction would make train travel smoother, quieter, and more efficient than ever before. And so, here we are in the 21st century, more than 2 centuries after George Stephenson first dared to dream of a world connected by steam-powered locomotives. Today, trains remain an essential part of our global transportation network, carrying billions of passengers and countless tons of cargo each year. They've come a long way since their humble beginnings, but one thing's for sure, the spirit of innovation and progress that drove their invention is still very much alive and well. So, the next time you hop on a train, take a moment to think about the long and winding history that brought us to this point. From the pioneering vision of George Stephenson to the high-speed marvels of today, the train has truly been a timeless saga of human ingenuity and determination. And who knows what the future holds for this incredible mode of transportation? Only time will tell. That's it for today's journey, fellow Timeless Sagas enthusiasts. I hope you enjoyed this thrilling ride through the history of the train. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing tales from the past. Until our next adventure, stay curious and keep exploring the timeless sagas that make our world so fascinating. Bon voyage!